Highly questionable week of stuff. This guy is at the center of highly questionable. This guy's always highly questionable. What do you like on the show today?
There's a giant ball of wax at stake tonight. Marbles everywhere. College national championship, baby.
All the marbles. Listen to the sound. That's a disturbing sound. Dale, papi.
Was last night's game more about Nick Foles being clutch or Cody Parkey choking like a dog?
It is Parkey, not Porky. This is an insult to dogs. Dogs don't choke like that. We've got goalposts for you. You got a horrified mascot situation there where the mascot is crestfallen. Look at that, the bear mascot, bang. Still smiling though because the face never changes. He has to kind of smile all the time even when he's heartbroken. But I really do think here, Izzy, that we're in a situation where people are missing something. The Philadelphia Eagles offensive line mauled everyone last year. The Philadelphia Eagles offensive line during this winning streak has played against Aaron Donald, the Athletic will tell you, Khalil Mack. They played against J.J. Watt. They've allowed 0 sacks, and 3 times the quarterback has been hit. These people are to be feared, and they just won a huge one on the road.
Well, people are also missing out that we're getting closer and closer to living in a world where this man is an actual authority on NFL football because the Nick Foles prediction just keeps coming true over and over and over again. And once again, he was clutch in a fourth quarter of a playoff game. But so was Mr. Trubisky. He was pretty clutch, too. He got his team to that point. I say what you will about how the Chicago Bears used that final timeout. Maybe they should have clocked it there, saved that timeout, putting themselves in position to get a closer field goal. But he did his part, too. And, Cody Parkey kind of did his part, too. That one was blocked. That line let those defensive players get through a little bit too much, and that kick was blocked. So it seemed like everybody was clutch in that fourth quarter. It just so happens that, Nick Foles comes out top again.
So big deal about this guy, Khalil Mack. What was the big deal about Khalil Mack? He couldn't get to Nick Foles, fourth down and go with the season on the line. Here comes Nick Foles, buddy. He hit Golden Gate right there for the winning touchdown, you know what I mean?
Golden Bridge to the Super Bowl.
That's right. Golden Gate will work.
And do you see how the Eagles fans celebrated after the game?
Oh, like Eagles fans do. That's not how I meant do. I did not mean that's how Eagles fans do.
Did John Harbaugh make the right decision by sticking with Lamar Jackson?
One of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my football life was a playoff game played over the weekend where a quarterback did not complete a pass for a full real-time 2 hours in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson was starting, and if you're not going to pull him in that situation, then you're never going to pull him. Flacco must be done in Baltimore, save for an injury, because the idea that Harbaugh wouldn't go to a relief valve because maybe they had game planned for a mobile quarterback and not Flacco. You had a champion on your bench. If you're not going to use him there, I don't know when you would.
Here's the problem with that, though. You're not giving the Chargers enough credit here. They put 7 DBs out there, and normally under that circumstance, you could say, okay, they're putting the smaller guys out there. We'll just run right through them with that running attack. It didn't really work that way. It still required Lamar Jackson to figure things out, and frankly, it just made him the least efficient version of himself. But to say that Flacco would have been the answer, to say this is the reason you go back to Flacco and not have a running quarterback, let me ask you a question, quick. Who are the Baltimore Ravens wide receivers? Just like every other quarterback, you've got to give this quarterback some skill players to work with. Maybe a mobile quarterback is not your best option when you're putting everybody at the line of scrimmage. If you spread things out with some talent, maybe he can do some even more magic there. So to say that through 3 quarters of football, that's the reason you don't play Lamar Jackson, that's nonsense. The Chargers just outsmarted him in this particular game.
I didn't like so much the way that felt. Quick, name a Chargers offensive lineman. Name a Chargers offensive lineman.
That's different.
Okay, touche.
Nobody knows linemen.
Are you kidding me? They left 2 quarterbacks on the bench, They could have played Jose Flacco, and if he wasn't hot, they had RG3. Hell of a 1-2 punch.
That would have been great.
That's right.
That would have been great. RG3 to the rescue.
So many options right on your bench.
After dominating the Texans, do you Gasbacks think the Colts have a shot against the Chiefs?
Shot is that word. You were scared, like the rest of us, that that was going to end up somewhere else. The Colts not only beat the Texans, they mauled the Texans. The Colts were 1-5 at one point this season, and Stugatz, my co-host on the radio, said they're still in the driver's seat. And here they are with a quarterback anyone would fear, a balanced rushing attack that did this. They ran on a defense that cannot be run on, and now they go to Kansas City in the cold, and the defense that can be run on. 5 yards a carry is how you hold the ball and beat the Chiefs by keeping it away from Mahomes. This team is dangerous.
Since week 7, the Colts have had the stingiest scoring defense. They have an all-pro at a rookie at linebacker. They have an all-pro at rookie on the offensive line. And you haven't even mentioned Andrew Luck yet. And when you think about Andrew Luck before his injury, he was that Peyton Manning 2.0. He was that next guy where if you just put the right pieces around him, you're talking 3, 4, 5 Super Bowls down the line. Now that you've gotten an offensive line and giving him time, now that he's back into a rhythm of reading defenses and you're getting him to get rid of the ball faster, this is exactly the Andrew Luck you were fearing before his injury. So why wouldn't you consider him as a threat? Because if Aaron Rodgers is in the playoffs, if Tom Brady's in the playoffs, if any of these guys are in the playoffs, you're saying they're the reason they could go all the way. Andrew Luck remains the reason any team could go all the way. He's already in the playoffs, so he can do it.
Last year, the Patriots got to the Super Bowl by going through Bortles and Mariota. Those were the quarterbacks. Now it's got to be Rivers, Mahomes, or this guy. It's going to be a problem for the Patriots.
You know what is happening right now in Kansas City, right?
What's that?
Andy Reid is starting to feel the little tickle in his throat.
Right now, already, it's just little now, but it builds up during the week. Oh, look out. Look out, everybody. Look out. That's just late Monday. Look out. Okay. All right. Okay.
Completely matches his shirt right now.
Let's go to the next question, please.
It's a Brian Schottenheimer's fault that the Seahawks lost to the Cowboys.
Schottenheimer, I like that name. Schottenheimer is the actual right one for this guy. And the Seahawks were boring. They've got a quarterback in Russell Wilson that anyone would fear if they were on the other side. And they just run the ball, and then to ask Russell Wilson to bail them out, which is basically what they've been doing all season anytime they get behind. It's just Russell Wilson at the end of games when he's behind is a lot of fun. But Seattle has now gone to the other extreme. They've got this electricity at quarterback, and what they do is really boring until they ask him to bail them out.
Yeah, but Brian Schottenheimer's been asking them to do that all season long. That's the reason they've got here. It's run, 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 power running game. And even I heard Tony Romo say earlier in the year, hey, you think they're going to pass this time? Nope. They're doing what got them there. It's their identity. So all of a sudden in the playoffs, you get into a situation where late in the game, they've done the same thing the entire time. It is the fourth quarter, down 3. It is time for Russell Wilson to save you. He didn't. Got a penalty in the first play, stalled that drive, and then they couldn't stop Dallas. It's not Brian Schottenheimer's fault that they failed in this particular game. It's his reason that they got here. Could they have done more throwing to Lockett and Baldwin? I don't know. We'd have to rewind the entire clock and do it differently all season long.
Mina loves the Seahawks, doesn't she?
Mina does love the Seahawks. Mina Kimes is heartbroken.
I feel bad for her. You know, my heart bleeds for her. I'm only kidding.
Oh, you're only kidding.
That feels so real.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Oh, Fred, how you doing? Fred Hoiber. Fred Hoiber. Your teams and some cheese fries.
Oh, delicious.
Where?
Will you be shocked if Clemson beat Alabama tonight?
You're not allowed to be shocked by this given how close these programs have been to each other. Over the last 4 years, they played 110 games combined against teams that weren't Alabama and Clemson. And they're 106-4. These two teams between them over the last 4 years. These are the teams that run the sport. These are the teams that have a lot of pros on both sidelines. And Clemson's young quarterback might actually be better than Alabama's. Not a lot of teams can say that.
It's obviously that Dexter Lawrence's loss is going to be key for that defensive line. But if you look at that Clemson pressure, they were the best among the FBS teams in sacks, and they were the best in sack percentage. That means they can get to Tua. Now, Tua's really good when he's pressured, but obviously you're going to get a chance to make more mistakes when you're pressured. Also, as Dan said, Trevor Lawrence and Clemson's offense can clearly match what Alabama does, but I have a lot more faith in Tua navigating that defensive line and getting it done for Alabama.
Please don't let Tricky Nicky win again.
Oh, wow.
Please
My
don't
father
let
has
Tricky
lapsed
Nicky
into
win
prayer.
again.
That's the sound of America tonight.
Please don't let Tricky Nicky win.
Yes, it's a
again.
mantra throughout
I
sports.
hope he loses by 10, 15 points. Yeah, I hope that's what.
Okay,
I got to go to church
to
tonight.
the prayer. Okay.
He'll be doing this for hours.
Throughout the game.
Does it make sense that the Timberwolves fired the Butcher after beating the Lakers by 22?
It does not say the butcher there. It says Tom Thibodeau. He calls him the butcher because he looks like he should have been coaching with an apron stained in blood. This is a great new move that I think all teams should start doing throughout the NBA. Firing a guy too fast who's a name, and this would be a big story, I think, if it hadn't been dropped like a bomb in the middle of your football weekend and nobody talked about this in a way that would show you how seismic a move it is that the Timberwolves quickly pivoted after giving him big money and giant power.
Although it seemed pretty interesting to those who were paying attention that his chance was basically this whole Jimmy Butler situation, right? Him coercing the team to hang on to Jimmy Butler. Hey, I can make this work. And then it still falls apart. And then when Jimmy Butler leaves, says, okay, let's give it one more chance. And they're still outside the playoffs. And Karl Anthony Towns is still doing his thing. But this franchise looks like it's in the mud once again. So you move on from a coach. It seems like an old school coach. Seems like he wasn't vibing well with Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns anyway. And you bury it in the middle of an NFL playoff Sunday. All well done by the Timberwolves, but we all could have seen this coming.
As an added bonus, I want you to imagine this. The Sixers haven't been playing up to expectations. Jimmy Butler has had struggles in that offense. Tom Thibodeau could be doing what Butler did, sort of making his exit with the money, trying to get to Philadelphia.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Oh, Fred, how you doing? Fred Hoiber, Fred Hoiber.
Yeah, we gotta get
What's going on, Fred? Yeah? You think that you can go in there in Minnesota and fill that gap? Yeah? Oh yeah, because you did the same thing when the butcher got fired in Chicago. You went in and
that's the move.
Okay, I see what you mean. You got a point there. Yeah, and you really think that that you can do a good job, huh? What? Oh, because you need a job. Okay. Hey, listen, Fred, don't you have anything else to do? That watch shows on TV and make phone calls? Huh?
Quit bothering my father, Fred. One of you is working.
Those are his qualifications.
Was Steph being a baby when he complained about the running beer step back move?
Oh, this is nice, kind of petty at the top of the food chain here. Let's see y'all know this move. It's why he's the most unstoppable thing shooting threes. And so that's Curry stepping back, and nope, you don't get that. And he should have gotten that because, good Lord, James Harden spends all his time. Is he doing exactly that? It was a bad call.
I mean, it is funny when you watch it to wonder how it's never called a travel with James Harden, like never called a travel. But this is Steph Curry coming to the realization that the NBA is catching up with him. Whether they have to do it by taking 3 or 4 steps at a time, James Harden has created a shot that is unstoppable the same way Steph Curry's shot was unstoppable 3 or 4 years ago and remains unstoppable sometimes when defenses don't adjust. This is him recognizing that, hey, 13, how do you do that? 13 is really unstoppable the way you were.
You know, he put up a 3-1. He put up a 3-1. That's not a good number for the Warriors.
Like a Michael Jordan.
3-1. That's such a good joke. 3-1, 3-1. But instead he put 2 2s over his nipple.
I does not respect other people's personal space. Do you question?
I was wondering who was going to do that too. You give us topics and events and we question them.
Wouldn't it have been funnier like this? Time for the game.
Do you question if they go that way, the bat for Zion against Clemson?
Duke is still the best we've seen in college basketball this year. They've lost 1 time. They throttled Clemson, and Zion Williamson went 25-10. Williamson is what I meant to say. And that's pretty good, but he said it's only a 7 or an 8, this man-child. So that's the good, but not good enough for him. So what's the bad? Oh, we're still on the good. Not going to get to the
Look how close his eyes are to the rim, Dan, and he's spinning like a helicopter. I'd watch that over again.
Let me see the bad. Oh,
yeah, he was just showing you where his eyes were when he dunked the ball. It was right in front of the rim, just like this basketball
Yeah, there
is.
you go.
I don't care. He could throw up 30 more of those. The thing that excites me about him is he called that an 8, like you said. That means just like Vince Carter, his dunks in the NBA are going to get even better, man. I don't care how many air balls he shoots.
I think that Zion did something that is even more impressive.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yes. I mean, but he can hit his head on the backboard. Yes.
I mean, but do you imagine the guy on the left is jumping as high as he can and then sees Zion Williamson a full head and shoulders above him and says, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do here.
Do you question if LeVar Ball earned this celebration?
All right. What celebration are we talking about here? He was at his LaMelo's high school game, and this is what he did. He said, by the way, that he could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one.
Clearly.
This seems to be slightly out of his range. He needs to get a little closer to the three-point line. Is he going to make one?
This has gotten so ugly.
Oof. LeVar.
He clearly didn't teach his sons how to shoot, or maybe he did teach Lonzo how to shoot.
Oh my God. Why are we still watching this? Why? This one's going in. No.
You wouldn't still be watching this if it was some halftime participant. Instead, it's LeVar Ball you have to watch.
Hey!
He made one shot!
Oh, that right there is him humbled, is what that is.
I just want to know who in LeBron James's camp got to him and has silenced him, because there's so many things about the Lakers he could be going off on right now, and he hasn't said a word. Instead, he's going 1 for 8 and getting mocked.
I think that he should change his name.
Two.
From LeVar to Air.
I don't know how nobody has made that joke
That's
before.
right.
Airball.
Airball. Yes,
Thank you,
right.
Bob.
Why not?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all he did, you know. Do you question if this wrestler is a warlock?
Okay, keep in mind, we are, not ESPN, but this show, the worldwide leader in warlock coverage. We've got a whole montage, a whole library that we go to show you previous warlocks that we've unmasked.
There's one.
Thank you for the spot shadow there.
He's gone.
Where did he go? This is unusual.
That's
He should
not
be
normal.
better as a wide receiver if he could do that. Where'd the ball go?
Where's that human that she just stood on? What is she sitting on?
She isn't. That's the thing. She's not. Oh. Wow, says Poppy. See, he's still amazed by this. So now we've got a new one in wrestling. How did that happen?
What?
Listen to me. Listen to me. I have seen this 10 times. I still don't know what it is that the optical illusion is. Therefore, I rule definitively. This is a warlock.
Time to play the game that does not feel empathy. See? Or no?
That's actually true. He just told you something revealing about himself. You tell us what to watch on TV tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued.
He's a robot.
Tonight on NBA League Pass, Nuggets and Rockets.
Izzy said before the show that he knows what this clip is.
I mean, you're going to feel really bad for your friend Stephen A. Smith here.
Am I?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is nothing to do then with the game they just asked me about.
It's HQ, baby.
James Harden right now looks like the best offensive player in football.
I mean, he's overworked, people, okay? He's doing too many things on too many places at this network, and some of that's going to happen. Izzy, are you intrigued?
I'm just going to say yes and nothing more. I don't want to be wrong on anything.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. I think that the Stephen A. is following my footsteps, you know what I mean? I mean, misstep here, misstep there.
That's how you evolve with age.
That's the way you find success, buddy.
Somebody's going to have to follow this guy up.
Tonight on ABC, the season premiere of The Bachelor.
Again with this, you guys have been torturing and tormenting me with this show for 8 years. Well, you do that now, but you just made it sound like it hurt you. I don't want to do this.
That fence wasn't so high, first of all. By the way, Dan, no, I'm not intrigued. That fence wasn't so high. And by the way, I know you don't want to be known as just the Virgin, but for the rest of time, you'll be known as the Virgin Bachelor. It just is what it is. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued, but that guy looks like a con artist to me, you know what I mean? He's a con artist. I don't think that the guy's a virgin, you know what I mean? I think that he tells everybody how he's a virgin, but got a lot of miles on the guy, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, that's the type of guy, that's right, that's the type of guy that he says one thing and he's something else. I'm telling you, I got to go die for that stuff.
No idea if that pickup line works, but hey, maybe it does.
That's right, I said it. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Dan, if you weren't listening, the new Bachelor's a virgin.
You want to see a body that needs some oil on it? Real oil on it? I'll show you a body. That's right. Here comes the big body. Hey! Give me some oil. Oil me up. Anybody, oil me up. That's right. Look at that. That's the body.
Oil makes it look good.